John Donne wrote, "Some lovely, glorious nothing I did see."
How does nothing relate to the concept of God?
Ah, the ultimate question. Is God nothing, or is nothing God? And there is a section in the book that deals with the divine, or how people regard nothing. If I were to be consistent in my own belief, which is what you're asking me to be here, I would say I believe in paradox. And so I can see where God exists and it is nothing. I can see that as a proposition or as a theory. Some would put it in another language. God is nothing, or God is all. And both of these ideas exist apart from each other and can exist together.
In the book you say that nothing is wonderful. How can nothing be wonderful?
Nothing is wonderful in the expression of the people who write about it. For example, John Donne, who says, I've never seen anything so beautiful as nothing. There is a joy that comes from unknowing. We have a whole chapter called The Joy of Unknowing, because there's a release from the prison of language and from the prison of things and the prison of doing and the prison of distraction. There's a wonderful freedom in nothing if you can experience it, know it, feel it. That's how it's beautiful. But as I say, life is a paradox. It can also be hell.
Can contemplating nothing be depressing? An example would be the quotations from the poet Sylvia Plath, who committed suicide.
Blackness, darkness, wanting nothing. At the same time, she recognized the paradox. When you want everything, you're very close to wanting nothing, she said. It can be that, and there's a whole school of Western philosophical thought, the existentialists, who saw nothing as taking meaning out of life. Taking meaning out of life. What did Jean-Paul Sartre say? He said nothing lies coiled at the heart of being like a worm. That is a very succinct and horrifying manifestation of nothing. And you can see nothing through a dark lens or through a lens of light. In the Eastern tradition, nothing is incorporated into the way of seeing the world. It's symbolized by the Tao. The Tao is a circle, a whole, which contains both the dark and the light. And in the dark, there's a white eye, and in the light, there's a dark eye. And they go together. And if you listen to the practitioners in the Eastern traditions and believe and honor and respect their testimony, meditation, which is their practice, is a way of quieting the mind, to rid it of all these thoughts that arise out of desire and attachment, and that if you can achieve the state, leads to light, not darkness, bliss, nirvana. It leads to love, and they honor love. I think both are possible. And some would say today, it's your own mind that creates which you get to. For some, it's divine, and for some, it's hell.
Tell us about the Buddhist reference in the title of your book.
In the Eastern tradition, they accept paradoxical logic. In the Western tradition, we operate from Aristotle on by logic and reason. And both are valid ways of perceiving the world and being in the world. But in the Eastern traditions, the paradox is accepted, is known, is part of the functioning of life, light and darkness, love and hate, sickness and health. They see the paradox in life. In the Western tradition, because we are locked by language, tradition, and culture into logical thinking, we read out the possibility of what we consider an illogical concept, nothing. But it's there to be seen. I sometimes think of this test that is given in psychology where they put up an image and you can see either a vase, the white middle, or you can see two profiles, the dark sides. And it is said that you cannot see both of them at once. You see, the way the brain works, you either see the profiles or you see the vase. Actually, they both exist at the same time in the same image. And I think that Eastern philosophy and religion is able to incorporate that into their traditions of thought. And Western logic says you see one or. We live in an either-or world. You see either or. I personally understand seeing them both at the same time. Even if I don't see them in an exterior image, I certainly am able to incorporate it in my interior reality. Here's one from an Eastern wise man, Krishnamurti. You and nothingness are one.